I do know that they use their algorithms and they're updating it in part. For instance, they're also getting very creative how they're going to use, for instance, like crypto. They call it digital assets. They'll call it digital currency, like cryptocurrency, NFTs, and all that. Because for most people, like crypto or it's just like cash.
Yeah.
But for the IRS, they look at it as stocks.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. Hey, it's 12/12/23. It's a great time to talk about taxes. Lots happening with the IRS, your good friends over there. But never forget, they're from the government. They're there to help you, of course. Claudia Moncarz, you are an attorney, tax attorney in my adopted state of Florida, down in Miami. It's great to have you on. So we've heard a lot about the IRS.
Thank you.
We've heard a lot about the IRS adopting AI. Can you shed any light on that? What's going on with their enforcement program, which appears to be stepping up?
Yes. So, about a couple of years ago, the IRS got a lot of funding for up to 87,000 collection agents. And like you said, the IRS, they are here to help us. We all, as taxpayers, have a Bill of Rights. But at the end of the day, they are a collection agency. And that's one of their mission statements, to collect as much money owed to them in the shortest amount of time. So, and now now you've seen actual pickup, like especially in the COVID and everything, they kind of went quiet and they gave a lot of people a lot of extensions. But now they started picking up. There's a lot of activities. Maybe in December, they're still working, but it's every year is for the longest time they have an informal pause on the collection actions. They don't like to get bad press if they're doing collection actions during the holidays. But they're still working and still seeing them do some of the audits and all that. But the big thing that they're doing is that, I want to say every year there's about 8 million new collection taxes, new ones. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. And that doesn't count the ones that did not file their tax returns. That's just people that file a tax return and then pay in full. So every year there's new ones. So plus the people that don't file. And their big target has been, was the high income earners that were not filing their tax returns now. And then they're going after S corporations that for people who are not collecting, taking a reasonable salary. A lot of people incorporate to save taxes, but they don't take the salary, which you're required to. So I'm seeing audits from that. And now, like I said, part of their big funding was that they're using all this money not only for revenue agents, but also to update all their systems, right? So they're bringing up to date so that because they use algorithms also just to decide who they're going to audit. And it's really some fancy computers and programs to tell you where they're going to find the audits. And now that's how they're using technology to make them more efficient too.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but, AI has limitations. But have we seen anything yet coming from that?
Particularly with AI and the IRS, not really. I do know that they use their algorithms and they're updating it in part. For instance, they're also getting very creative how they're going to use, for instance, like crypto. They call it digital assets. They'll call it digital currency, like cryptocurrency, NFTs, and all that. Because for most people, like crypto or it's just like cash.
Yeah.
But for the IRS, they look at it as stocks.
Yeah.
So they're also tracking. Yeah. So that's a different way of looking at it for tax purposes. They're tracking that. And the other big thing is that I'm sure they're, which is done through FinCEN, is that they are now in January 1st, they're starting their database in small business owners with a Corporate Transparency Act. And that would basically get all businesses it basically covers all small businesses have to register with FinCEN, just like they do with the Foreign Reporting Acts. And they're doing this to find people that are doing fraud and illegal activities. But all those systems are connected, and they're going to step up with more enforcing, because they're going to notice that there's going to be people that maybe registered and they're not filing tax returns, because the penalties for not registered with these FinCEN is very high. So up to 10,000. So, and they're going to start being those connections, and once more using technology to make sure people are compliant.
It amazes me how many people out there in this day and age still don't file tax returns.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people.
Shocking. It's really kind of shocking because they know who you are. And you remember that old song, it was a country western song, and he tells the IRS to take him off their mailing list. That doesn't happen in reality, does it?
No, I mean, people, I think they just get, because like I said, there's 8 million new cases a year, and that's for people that actually, it's between 8 to, I can't remember, it's like 8 to 10, something like that, but that's just people that filed but didn't pay. So it doesn't count. They get I forgot the exact number, but it was also in the millions. Single digits, but high single digits in the millions for people that didn't file their tax returns. And there's just so much manpower that they have. So yes, they have a backlog. They haven't gotten to use it because they have a backlog. But now that they're updating their computers, they can do a lot more automated. So they will send the letters automated. They will look at, for instance, an easy way that they catch you is that your employer or whoever issues you some customer, for the most part, has to issue a 1099 or a W-2 and they send a copy to the IRS. So that's how they actually catch a lot of people. They match it like that too.
Yeah. So matching and all that, and they're way better at it than they used to be. I mean, I know Social Security instantly picks up your tax return from the IRS and, figures out, whether they're taking too much or too little. They adjust all this money. I was pretty shocked to see how efficient they were with that, because they just never were like that before.
Yeah, now they're getting more efficient with all that. And then you said now they're investing in the programs, technology, and they're bringing new agents, which is good in that, because I think they're just rushing them. I've seen this, and other tax professionals, I've seen them, that they rush them through the system, through the training. And some of them, they're not all fully trained. So it can be difficult in some audits if they don't want to work with you. But the good thing is, with everything with government, they just have to follow the rules that they set themselves.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. But one thing I got to emphasize, if you do have interaction with the IRS, it's not personal. They're not necessarily out to get you, although it might feel like they're out to get you, but they're really not. And if you treat them with respect and consideration like you want to be treated with, it really helps your case, doesn't it?
Yes, and remember, they follow a procedure, right? They have guidelines that they have to follow. And if they deviated, sometimes there's some bad agents, but if they deviated, it's because maybe they didn't know about it. But they follow these guidelines, and first you're gonna get a letter that you owe money. Then it'll be a 30-day notice. Then it'll be a notice that we're gonna put in lien. Then it's a notice that they're gonna levy, and all that is, or maybe that we're gonna revoke your passport. All that is to get you to the table so that you can get either into a payment plan or pay. They don't really want to levy you. They don't want to freeze your bank accounts. They don't want to put a lien. They want to get you in the table and get into a payment plan for the most part. Everything really, I would say about 80% of it ends up being a payment plan, because everybody wants to pay the pennies on the dollars. I remember 10 years ago, the guy with the beer, he says if you could pay pennies on the dollar, that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, the compromise. It's interesting. So people, it's the scariest 3 letters in the English language, right? IRS.
Yes, I do it all the time. But I think one time I got a letter because they were just doing an adjustment to my return. And I think even for a second when I saw my name and the letter in the ask for like a nanosecond, I had to pause, and I get those letters from them all the time. So I do understand. And I generally think I've been practicing for over 20 years. Only once have I seen someone that was doing tax evasion. Everybody else is just they make a mistake. Either what happened to them, they had a sick family member, they lost their job, and they just forgot about their taxes, or they just really didn't understand what they were doing, or were given bad advice.
Yeah.
An accountant or sometimes a lawyer, unfortunately, that gave them bad advice that end up doing the wrong thing. So.
Yep. And I was going to say, one of the major mistakes that you make in dealing with IRS or any other creditor, and let's face it, they're a creditor.
They are.
Kind of first among equal creditors, but they're superior creditor. But it's going into denial, like shutting down and just not dealing with the problem. And then problems that don't get dealt with become disasters. Whereas if you accepted it and you just dealt with them, a solution, like you said, a payment plan could be worked out. But if you go into denial, then that option gets closed to you. And then it's like, and that does upset the government when you ignore them more than anything. And right. So people come to you like, what's the best outcome you ever got for somebody with the IRS dealing with them?
I think our best where we actually person owed like $3 million and we brought it down to $1 million. So that was good. But once more, that was just given. I mean, they had all the right facts, but they just didn't put it right. So so we gave them all backup and we brought it down. And like you said, going back to what you mentioned, it's like it's the denial. I think I have a process where I call it free. And I think that how to deal with your IRS debt. And the first one is forgiveness, because I think we feel so bad that we got ourselves and we feel guilty and shame. But like you said, there's 8 million other people in the country at the very minimum that have the same issue as you. Sure. It is not, a lot of people, like you say, don't mean to. So I think it's just to kind of like forgive yourself, accept it, and then just kind of like then take action. That's the main thing. Because I have a lot of clients that bring letters that are not open. And the problem with that is that you and everybody listening here, we all have rights as taxpayers, and we have appeals right and all that. But if you don't open your letter to find out with your deadlines and when you have to do certain things, you're waiving rights. You're losing opportunities to maybe there's something wrong with the tax, because sometimes the tax return may be wrong and you just need to fix it with a form and then you owe nothing.
Sure.
There's been a lot of cases like that. But once more, it's yes, you need to have your rights and things like that. So
yeah, I'm looking at your site, and David L. Claudia saved the day for us. The IRS was wrongly pursuing me for taxes they claim I owed, and she wiped out about $30,000 in debt. She was a professional and did a fantastic job. And you show the demand from the IRS. It was like $180,000. Well, account balance that supposedly owed $180,000.
Yeah, we bring it down. I mean, we didn't do it this good. That we usually try to keep a tally. This year, I don't know why we didn't do it as good. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about paying what you owe and the correct amount. And like you said, sometimes it's just mistakes. Sometimes the tax returns are wrong. So if we're able to fix the tax return and show where the error goes, then we can reduce your taxes. Sometimes it's an audit. Like right now, I'm very excited. We just finished a case where we've been working in tax court for almost 2 years with the IRS, trying to get going back and forth, and we got her to where she needed to be, where she owed the IRS, I think, $2,000, which she already had paid for. So we're very excited that we brought it from like a 69 or 64. And the amount is not as big as the other ones, but we fought so hard for this one. So we're very, very excited.
That's the kind of lawyer you want working for you. As a recovering attorney myself, having experience in some of these matters, that's what you want. Hey, so just tell us where we find you, how we connect with you on the web, Claudia.
Yes. So our website is www.moncarzlaw.com. It's N as in Mary, O, N as in Nancy, CARZ law.com. Or also, if you go to www.talktoclaudia, we have there a small class, and you can learn about how if you have tax issues, and then you can make an appointment with us too. And we do consultations to see if we can help you out. We're a good fit for each other.
All right. Excellent. Well, appreciate you coming on with us. Got a question for Claudia or myself? The email's kl@kerrylutz.com. And you'll find a link to Claudia's site on our site in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. And please sign up for your free newsletter. Got a good one coming out shortly. Really appreciate you coming on, Claudia. And
yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, wish you the best and happy and healthy New Year. Merry Christmas. And we'll talk to you again after the first of the year to figure out what we did wrong last year, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.